wanted to show you something that's a little bit different that I wouldn't typically even consider making a video about. But because we flip houses, both on A&E's Triple Digit Flip, and also we do it for a living here in Phoenix, Arizona, when you want to do something in your own home, that's really hard to want to do because what you'll have to do is take your construction crews off a project that's going to be making you money, putting that project on hold and bringing them into your house where they're not necessarily even making you money now. It's costing you a ton to work on your house. So Pace just took off to Miami and I went ahead and made kind of a risky judgment call where I decided to have our cabinets refinished. Now, why would I want our cabinets to be refinished? They are incredibly beautiful, and I know the style nowadays is to have wood cabinets, but you cannot remove lacquer from cabinets. It takes so much time. You would be way better off just replacing your entire kitchen cabinets. But if you look around here, we have a ton. So instead, what we did is we just switched up the color and made it more our style. So if you ever have the opportunity to remodel your own home, it is really hard to make a decision. And why? It's because you're gonna second guess all of your design decisions. You can make Pinterest board after Pinterest board and like a designer on Instagram, but when it comes to actually making that singular decision about what you're gonna do, you will end up in analysis paralysis. So I'm gonna show you around my kitchen and why I decided to pick what I chose. And I know I do this for a living. I make these decisions 10, 20, 30 times a month. And so for me to decide it, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I even get nervous about doing it because I'm spending the money, I'm taking the time, I'm making a mess, and I don't want to have wasted that and have a result that I actually don't even like. So I'm gonna show you around, it's gonna be fun, and I know it's not perfect, but I love it and it fits my vibe. So over here we're by our refrigerator box. It's an entire cabinet box with shelves on the top, and this is a refrigerator, just has a cabinet front. And this is a bold move to do in such a crazy color. And I know it's not as crazy as what we do on the show. On the show, we're doing hot pink and we're doing orange and peach and yellow. Pace has used this blue kind of as a secret weapon when we need to really make one of our flips really special. This is a Faro and Ball, and if anybody's watching this and you know what that is, that's a female approved paint company, if I do say so. When we moved in, I have always dreamed of using that color in our own home. And so we actually painted all of our exterior doors that color, and I thought it would be really fun to kind of match what's going on our doors to what's happening in our kitchen. Now, some of you who have seen the before of the kitchen might be thinking, why would you even waste your time painting the white cabinets because it's essentially the same color? I get what you're saying, but the white on the cabinets before was more of a yellow undertoned white. So if you've ever shopped for paint, there's blue undertoned whites and salmon undertoned whites and yellow undertoned whites. And I wanted like the most pure, true white because this house has so many doors and windows, and as you catch different light at different times of the day, it takes on a cast of a different tone, and I wanted the paint itself to be as pure white as possible just because it wouldn't look funky picking up on furniture or any of the other colors that we're bringing into the space. So I had our cabinet refinishing company, who happens to be Pace's father, color match our Dunn Edwards color that we chose for our walls. So it kind of seamlessly transitions. As you can see, the cabinets meet up with the wall. It looks exactly the same, and I really like that. Now, the other thing and why I drug my feet on doing this at all is ordering these. I ordered 72 knobs and 118 of these pulls, drawer pulls. And if any of you have ever bought cabinet hardware, it is so expensive. Now imagine buying 72 and 118. That is so expensive, and it made me want to throw up every time I thought about doing it. But it was a really cool one that I've had my eye on for about a year because it's knurled like our door levers that we chose from MTech, which is really cool. So these came from Rejuvenation, which is an amazing company, and that was super hard for me to pull the trigger and put our credit card number into that because that's expensive. Spending this money actually won't make us any money if we ever go to sell the house. It's just more enjoyment and like personal fulfillment. So again, that's a hard judgment call to do. So some tips and tricks when you're going to get your own cabinets done is to keep in mind that these people are blue collar workers. They're gonna make things messy. You're gonna get this weird overspray dust that's gonna travel to your whole house. They can create clean room style stuff where they put up plastic and mask it off. You will have dust everywhere. Now it's not gonna ruin anything. It's not overspray where you're having to use a razor and get it off of like your hard surfaces, but it is a mess. So when they come in and they tell you, hey, you don't really have to take your stuff out, you're fine, you can leave it, just take your stuff out. Like this is my father-in-law, like, and he was like, no, it's fine, we're gonna mask it off and it's gonna be fine. No, everything's gonna be covered in dust. Every single cup, every single plate, every single fork and knife that you have in here is gonna be covered in lacquer dust. And so just take it out. We have only lived here for a year, and any woman, any girls, gays, and days who like the kitchen is your domain, that you just start acquiring kitchen gadgets and kitchen things and all this. You have a junk drawer. This was the perfect reason to go through and get everything that we don't use or is in a weird space. Because when you first move in, you unload your dishes in a certain place, and maybe that's not really that functional. So this was a really cool opportunity for me to like make my kitchen like super organized and like make a lot of sense. Look, nothing's even in here. I love that. My waffle iron's now in here. Like, I don't know, it just like made it to where I can organize my vinegars, right? I don't know. It just is a great opportunity to clean everything off and get rid of stuff that you don't use. My rule of thumb is if you don't use it for a year, why do you have it? Get rid of it, go donate it. I'm not saying you have to throw anything away, but go donate it. Give it to someone who is gonna use it. There's no point in keeping all of this stuff around in your kitchen that you actually don't do anything with. Well, thanks for checking out my kitchen. Hopefully you learned a couple things, and if you are thinking of refinishing your cabinets, you should do it. Take the plunge. It makes a big difference, and for the cost that goes into it, rather than replacing door fronts or full-blown cabinet boxes, I say do it. It's amazing. But thanks for checking this out with me. I hope you guys like it.